up with those feet together, standing nice and tall. We will step back into an overhead reach. You want to get a nice stretch in those hip flexors. This is an alternating pattern. So as you get that step back, I want you to follow the chest and head up to your ceiling, but keeping your shoulders down. You're getting that nice stretch in those abs as you get that extension all the way through. Your palms are facing each other as you go throughout this pattern. Just 2 dynamic movements to get you warmed up. You are halfway through your first one. Let's keep that hip flexor overhead reach going. I'll show you your second movement as you continue that. It will be a walkout. Hands right in front of your feet, walking out, shoulders above your wrists. You'll drop your knees to the floor, point your toes, and then look up to the ceiling as you press those abs open and back to a standing position. Let's go into that now. Perfect timing. Nice hinge. Walk yourself out, shoulders above the wrists, knees, point those toes, pressing the top of your foot into the floor and looking up. Also, we want to make sure that we keep our shoulders down the same way I spoke to that in our first dynamic movement. We always want to keep those shoulders as far away from the ears as possible. Get that nice press down. You're going to feel that stretch in your abs. Walking back and forth up into that standing position. Continue that motion squat as this is your last dynamic movement. All of our exercises will be on the floor today as we get through our core series, moving through different exercises and positions, rocking that core out. Chills, you're on a mission this morning. Get that last walkout in. Excellent work, squats. You feel free to stay down or make that transition. We're going to be down on the floor. We go into a bicycle kick hold. What I mean by that is we're holding this position here. We're starting out double crunch, number 1. You're going to pull the knees into the chest, dropping down to the floor, number 1. Number 2 is that hold. You're going to have your elbow pressing into your knee, lifting the left leg up for 20 seconds. At 20, you will switch sides. We want to make sure that we keep that elbow in contact with the knee. Another option for that, if it's too much to keep the hands here, is one arm is down. Then we're going into a plank and reach. I'll make sure I give you time to transition into that. But the first move, you're here. Heels underneath your knees, pulling the knees in, dropping back down to the floor in 3, 2, 1. So we get right into firing from the upper, mid, and lower abs. As you go up into that crunch, you're looking at your ceiling. We don't want to curl the neck. We want to lift, keeping the elbows right up by those knees as you come up to the top and letting that exhale out at the top of your movement. Your feet are lightly tapping the floor as you reset in that pattern. Again, upper, mid, and lower abs starting you out, really getting that top to bottom going. Next up, we go into that bicycle kick hold. Again, the leg stays up. Try to press the elbow into the knee. And as you hold that position, that left leg goes up and down in 2, 1. Here we go, squat. 20 seconds, and then we will switch sides. If you need to bring this arm down, just make sure that you keep that left elbow into that right knee. Keep lifting. You're looking out on an angle. So whichever way you're rotating, look down there so we keep that head in line. Get ready to switch sides in 3, 2. Now we switch it over. Right elbow to the left knee. That right leg is your mover. Getting that lift. What we're doing now is getting those obliques involved. So as you go into that hold, you now feel the left side of that core on that lift. Now we're going into a plank reach and tap. You'll be on those elbows, reaching forward, tapping out, and alternating. Reach. Tap the foot up, alternate. Left hand, left leg. Right hand, right leg. Keep switching back and forth on this movement and keeping those hips down. If you feel like your hips are kind of up in the air, you know it's hard to see this movement in the mirror. Just make sure we're pulling that navel to the spine. Those shoulders feel like they're in line with the hips. If your shoulders are right above the elbows, there's a good chance that you're in the position that you need to be for this movement. Keep working, squad. We got 10 seconds. Come on, Ruth Ann, let's crush this first set. We get a little recovery and we're moving on to series number 2. Come on, sweetie. And way to work, squad. So breathe, get a little recovery. We're now going into a side crunch and a reach. So we'll be on the side here, palm down to the floor. The left hand is on the head. We're gonna drive the knees to the elbow and then you're gonna reach. So it's an alternating pattern. Elbow to knee, pulling both knees in, going back out with the feet are off the floor. Then going into that lift, we do that both sides, and then we're going into a knee tapping pike. So get yourself set up. If you're too far to the side, it's going to be hard to get that range of motion, so kind of open up a little bit. You're on a slight angle, driving in 3, 2, 1. So crunching up into a reach. Hand on the head, drive the knees. Arm extended, extend those legs. Into the elbow, and lift. Working through. Make sure the shoulder comes off the floor. on each movement. All right, but that right hand is pressing into the floor to help give you a little leverage, kind of stabilize your position. Let's go, Dan. We got 15 seconds. All we do is switch sides. You don't have to move the way I did. I'm going to make sure I'm just facing you here on this movement. In 10 seconds, you will be on that left hip. Same thing. Drive the knees up. Get that lift in 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow to knee, hand to that top foot, and try to keep your feet together. All right, so as you push through, pressing those feet in, get that nice lift to the top of your movement. Come on, Sandy. I'll set us up for our last one coming to the top. Keep that crunch going. Your final movement here in set number 2 will be a knee tap. You'll alternate and then into a pike. You'll shift your weight back so your shoulders are above the wrist, and we make sure we switch sides on your knee tap, piking up, then back to plank position. So it's our job to get that coordination down. Okay, Matt, get ready to switch it over. In 3, 2, we're on those hands. Knee tap, both sides, piking up, back to your plank. Switch, knee taps into your pike. Now, as we go into those knee taps, I want you to keep your knee. The knee does not come across. It comes straight up. The hand comes across, and then you fire back. More challenging. Knee comes straight up, hand comes across, into your pike, then back to plank position. Finish up this second round squad. We'll get a little recovery, and we're adding an exercise, a little finisher to each one of your rounds, each one of your circuits. We're gonna have some kick throughs. 5 seconds, finish it up, we get a little recovery, we take it back to the top, and 1. All right. Take it down to the floor. This is a quick stretch of those abs. Again, we're staying down the entire time. Let's get that nice press through. Your shoulders are down, getting a little stretch in your abs in between sets. We're going back to our double crunch. All right, so we have our first few movements down. Double crunch, then we go into that bicycle kick hold, and then the plank and knee tap. Then we have kick throughs. This is the little finisher we're adding. You're gonna kick through, you're gonna take it back to plank, and you will alternate sides. We're throwing that exercise in at the end of each circuit. Little kicker, H heart. Get ready for that double crunch. In 2, 1, here we go, driving up. Not only did we add to our series, we're gonna step it up on our first 3 exercises. All right, so driving those knees, we know how to work through these reps. Light tap down to the floor. Make sure we're focusing up on that ceiling and getting that flexion, really driving again, upper, mid, and lower abs. That's why we're driving those knees to the top of our movement. Lorraine, keep pushing through. We're definitely gonna feel a little bit more on this set. Next up is that bicycle hold into that leg lift. So make sure our elbows over to our knee, left leg goes up and down. Get ready, Brock. 3, 2, here we go. Get that lift. Exhaling and up. Either both hands are here, or you can bring that arm out, but you're looking out on that angle as you get your lift. At 20 seconds, we will switch sides, Molly G. Yes, come on, keep pushing through it. Get ready to switch to the other side. All right, switch it over, that right elbow to that left knee. Now your right leg is your mover as you hold that position. Let's get it, Brian. Come on. In 10 seconds, plank reach. We're gonna be on those elbows, extending out with the hand, tap out with the leg, and then switch sides. Get ready. 4, 3, 2. All right, in that plank position. Reach, tap, switch, reach, tap, switch. Pull that navel up to your spine. Keep working through it. Now, as you get into that reach, fight that rotation. All right, the body wants to rotate when that leg goes out, and when that hand goes forward, I want you to stay as square as possible. Dr. CLH, we got that finisher at the end. It's your kick throughs. It's an alternating pattern. I'll start to set you up, crew, in plank position on those hands. All right, the right foot comes forward, we kick through with the left, the hip is off the floor, we fire back to plank, and then we switch. 2, 1, here we go, foot goes forward, kick, feel those obliques in that plank, obviously feel the rest of the core kicking through, firing back, kick. Yes, your hip is off the floor, get that nice lift up, feel that core as you pull that leg through, back and forth, into that plank, kick, top arm comes up. Woo! Keep going, squad. You're halfway there. Let's go, Zaza. We get a little recovery after this. We go into our last series. Again, this kick through is our finisher on both circuits. Randy, put that work in right now. 5 seconds. We get that little recovery reset, and we get through that last series one more time. Way to work, Paulina. Way to dig in, squad. Grab some water, rehydrate, get your mind right for one more series into that right side first. Right on that right hip, hand is out, left hand on the head. Remember, keep your feet together, drive the elbow to the knee. Right shoulder goes down, we get that lift, back and forth. Then we switch to the other side. We have our plank knee taps and pikes, and remember, kick throughs as your finisher. So start to set up. Make sure you have that good range of motion on that alternating pattern. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it up, squad. Drive up, lift. We feel that burn immediately in those obliques. Work through it. Yes, come on, Joy. Happy Saturday to you. Glad you're here. Come on, keep digging. 40 seconds on each exercise. You're about to hit your halfway point here. That is halfway through. Make sure you're getting that exhale out. Right shoulder comes up. We want that range of motion. We want that flexion, especially on that reach. Keep your feet together. So press in. All right, you got to feel a little inner thigh work on that there. 8 to those abs working. 5 seconds. D, you're crushing it today. Get ready to switch sides. 2 and 1. Now on that left hip. Drive up and reach. Exhaling on each movement. Exhale, inhale into that full extension. Drive and reach up. Toes are pointed. Lifting through. Come on, Nama. Get through it. Push. Toughing it out. You're in your second exercise. Next up is that knee tap to a pike. Remembering that we're alternating on that pattern. We drive the knees up. Keep your hips square into that pike. Back and forth. When you go into your next set of knee taps, make sure you switch sides. Haley, get ready. Flip it over into plank position. Knee tap. Knee tap. Into your pike. Switch. Tap. Tap. Pike. Starting with that last knee. Again, switching the order on your pattern. Tuck. Tuck. Fire through. Get your hips nice and high. Shifting back. When you go back to plank position, make sure your shoulders are above the wrist. That's your reset in your pattern. You're getting that nice flexion in the abs when you pull those hips up to the ceiling. Let's go, Will. 10 seconds. We got to get through those kick throughs. One more set. And this is the end of your workout. Counting us in. 3, 2. You're already in that plank. Kick through with that left leg. Hip off the floor. Fire back to plank. Left foot forward. Kick through with the right. Back and forth. Good push. Feel your abs as you get that kick through those obliques. Nice push. All the way out. Back to your plank. We want to try to push back. So a fully extended position. Come on, 20 seconds. Woo! Core getting work right now. Come on, Lauren. You got 15 seconds. Shoulders above the wrist. Fire back. When you come out of that kick, can you push straight back to that plank? Yes, 5 seconds. We go into our cool down, Patty. Yes. Go for one more rep. And recovery squat. Stay right where you are. We're going to work our way up to a standing position, but let's start here. Shoulders down, pressing away. Get that nice stretch in the abs as we start our cool down, quick cool down for you. As we go into it, again, those shoulders are as far away from those ears as possible. Next up, we go into child's pose, pressing our hips back, getting some extension in those lats, but ultimately stretching out that low back is what we're going for. So get those hips down, get that nice press through. You can even drop your head down to the floor.